Okay, so we're back.
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
How you feeling about like the feedback and everything with episode 1?
It's a little overwhelming.
Because we talked about a lot.
I know, and I didn't want people to get the wrong idea.
No, but I mean, that's what just being transparent is. It was like some comments were good, some were questionable. Like, I'm cool. My opinion is my opinion. It's not
like,
gonna change.
next. Thanks for coming out. Next.
Yes.
All right, so it's 2021. It's new vibes.
End of the month. We survived.
We survived. We're almost out of January. January was like literally going 95 miles per hour.
Yes.
January always flies. But what I wanted to talk about was Clubhouse. How do you feel about Clubhouse being like the new wave? Like, I just found out that they have 1 million participants on the application, but it's still in beta.
Shout out to Clubhouse because I'm at over 500,000 followers.
God damn.
Half of the people on Clubhouse is following me. So that right now is my largest.
I'm at 0.3.
Oh no, it's not my largest followers.
I'm at 0.38%. So if you're watching this, follow me on Clubhouse. I am Wing Lee. That was a plug.
Yeah, I'm Karen Civil. You're probably already following me, but if you aren't...
Well, half of the whole entire community is following.
As they should.
How did you get 500,000 followers on Clubhouse? So Teach me your ways.
Okay, so you know what it was? At first, I was using it for like... Of course, what you go on for business purposes, right? I'd go in the rooms where they were having conversations, tips and stuff. But then... there was this one trolling room, right, about Jack Harlow. So I went in the room. I don't want to say the DJ who started it.
Hold on, wait. Before you start, how many followers did you have on Clubhouse before you enter inside the trolling room?
Like 5,000.
Okay.
It wasn't necessarily a trolling room. It was like titled, "Do Black Women like let's discuss Jack Harlow's album cover," because he has a black woman's leg on it. And they're like something about how do black women feel. So I went in the room because I just wanted to hear like what they were talking about.
Which on Clubhouse, I did say that I need to create I have one invitation left, and I need to send it to myself and to create a dummy account.
That's what I want to do.
So I could actually just honestly listen. Because sometimes I want to just literally honestly listen to conversations.
That's what I'm going to do too.
I don't want to be rude to the moderators that bring me up to speak, because I don't want to speak. I want to listen.
I just want to be mixy in the crowd.
Yeah,
and
like
just
I just want to just sit back with my popcorn and listen. So I was like, maybe I should create a dummy account.
So a lot of people have 2 accounts because I'll see like there be, they have like 2 phones. So it's like you'll see them in numerous rooms, but they use like a real name. But I'm going to start another account because now when I have to be like, I have to be mindful of the rooms I go in because a lot of my audience sees that and they'll come in too. So sometimes I just want to play around and go in certain rooms. Like I love any room that Tokyo Vanity does.
Okay, wait. Before you go into that, tell me how you got to the 500,000.
Okay.
So you went to the...
So I went into this room, right? And at this time I had like 5,000 followers. So I went into this room. I'm listening.
And now you have 500,000.
Yes, over 500,000.
Oh shit.
So
excuse me.
I'm in this room and he's like, it's first of all, it's like no black women on stage. And he's talking for black women, which I hate, like this DJ.
Okay.
And he's
Tell
talking.
me later who the DJ is.
I will. From Atlanta.
Don't do Atlanta.
I'm gonna have to for this. Cause he really tried it. So he was like talking for black women, how we're like, it's just not fair. Here's this white boy, and I'm like, hold on a second. Now, to me, it's fine to have an opinion if you do the due diligence of the work and really like go find out why it's like this, who's a part of his team. Because one thing, Jack is from Kentucky. I'm not the biggest.
But one of my friends works on his team.
Exactly.
And he treats her so good.
But this is the thing. Is she black?
Yeah. Shout out to Andrea.
So Exactly. So it's like, to me, a lot of his team is very diverse.
And black women.
And black women and just black men. And he gives them an opportunity to be on. So that's one thing I know about him. I don't really know much about the music or anything else. You know, what's popping, of course. So then this is the day his...
Did he drop an album?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the day his album cover comes out. And mind you, I didn't even get a chance to see it. So now I'm like, okay, you're giving him promo. So I'm listening to the guy. And at this point, sometimes Clubhouse can be a fucking 5950. And when I say a 5950, that is cap. Like the biggest new era cap.
Well, Clubhouse is full of experts.
Everybody, to me, it's just like they feel like everybody's on the same playing level and field. And no, there are people who really know what they're talking about. And I feel like, you know, there's no velvet rope. So people think with this green bean thing, they can say what they want. And now, you know, because the Kevin Hart situation happened.
What happened with the Kevin Hart situation?
Let's rewind for that. They made a room called Kevin Hart Is Kevin Hart Funny?
Oh, I did see that room. I just didn't get into it because it was just like, I don't feel like a bunch of people. So then his friends went in, then which made him, because he saw the room on his timeline, on the thing, because his friends went in, he went in, and it turned into like this whole back and forth thing. But I don't think, my biggest thing at times is I feel like so many people take time and effort into talking about what they don't like. And they wrap their negativity and try to throw it in your face as positive. So like, to me, this gentleman was pretending he was standing up for black women. You weren't. So he let me on stage and I was like, listen, if you would have just did the due diligence of actually looking at who Jack Harlow is, who his team members are, he's not trying to exploit black people. So what are you talking about? And he's like, well, I feel as though I know DJ Drum. I said, okay, so are you doing this? And like the regular civil Karen went off. I was like, because we got, like, let's be honest. Let's take accountability. Your problem is, I said, you just wanted a moment. You knew DJ Drama and everybody else would come on here and they come into your room and you get to have a moment. You get to sit among the elites. And that's what he was like, because I know DJ Drama. I said, if you did, you would have texted him. Then it turned into, he was like, well, I feel a way about this black leg. And I was like, well, it's my black leg. What's next? And it honestly went from there. So many people. Black leg? No. I just said it because I just wanted him to shut up. Because then what irked me is like, you act like you're standing up for black women. Then a week later, he had, why are we dismissing R. Kelly? Excuse me? The same person?
Yes.
Okay, well, he's an idiot.
Yes, that's what I mean. So it really, once I started to really like, I got opinionated and really talking like truthful stuff. Because if we show up, we take accountability and we have truthful conversations. Mm-hmm. Clubhouse is so amazing.
I love Clubhouse. Okay, so who's your favorite person on Clubhouse? Tokyo Vanity, like not outside of like business stuff. Like,
okay, I wasn't even gonna do business
for leisure.
Leisure.
Why do you like her room so much?
No, so I love Meezy Estates. Shout out to Meezy, TP, 21 Savage.
21 Savage is my favorite person on Clubhouse.
He's
hands down.
He's like a therapist, whether he realizes or not, but I ain't gotta pay him.
But the thing about it is like, I was in a room with him one time for like maybe like 4 hours. It was like him, Big Bang. I think Tokyo had came in there. Tiffany Haddish had came in the room. John Nice was in the room. It was so many people in the room, right? But my perception of him was just totally different. Just as far as just like, you know, I didn't think he would be so like sensitive to a woman's emotions. Like,
no, he is.
I know.
Honestly,
I was actually like, I like him as a person. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't really know much about him besides his music, but actually being inside the Clubhouse rooms, I was like, oh, he's like a dope person. Like, he like...
Clubhouse made me love him even more
me too.
As an artist. Like, I was like, you know what? Let me go by. Not even like...
I was like, let me go check out some of his music.
Yeah. I was like, let me not even stream it. Let me give him a buy. Let me give him my $10. Because I met him at the Versace show, and I was like, hey, it's nice to meet you. He was like, hello. I know who you are. I was like, ooh, okay. He gave me very dry. He gave me very Sahara Desert dry. But on here, he's just so open.
He talk about not cheating. And
like relationships.
He gives relationships. He actually... And if he does this, you need to give me my credit. He actually should start like a relationship advice show or like Clubhouse room to give.
What was that other? It was
because he gives
not Dr. Oz, not Dr. Phil. It used to be a doctor on MTV who had a show. Oh, you know what? Who reminds me of Dr. Drew? He can be our version of Dr. Drew because I kid you not, every time I'm on a stage with him,
even though I'd be like, is this your politically correct?
It's not because he
answer?
don't give. But
I like him. Like I'm like this. It's so many people perceptions that change for me by just jumping in like Clubhouse rooms because it's just like it's not appearance, it's all voice and opinion, and so it's just like basically hearing how people think and being able to ask questions and stuff like that. Like even like at night, I really enjoy getting on Clubhouse to get in like the relationship rooms.
I tried to do like I try to go between like 6 and 9 my time, which is it's 3 hours later on the East Coast. I tried to do one late night room one time. Oh my God, Meek was just yelling at me. And I fell asleep. It went to like 4 in the morning.
Which time? Because he gets very opinionated a lot. Even though I like Meek. Like what's on Meek, Clubhouse should stay on Clubhouse. Like, you know what I mean?
I think they have a way you can't, but it still gets picked up. And they stopped it once the conversation with Meek went viral.
Yeah, because it takes away from the exclusiveness
and the authenticity of
like these celebrities or these people that have to be mindful of what they say, and it puts them back in a bubble like before, like maybe like back in October when it was like only like 300,000 people on the on the app.
Definitely
they could like talk and then not necessarily be recorded and put on Instagram. But I absolutely love. I actually can't believe Clubhouse is free. Yeah. Like, no, I don't think Clubhouse should start charging. But the amount of information, like, I've learned about, like, just doing, like, business funnels and different apps to use or even better apps to use. Like, say, for instance, like, I learned about an app that, that might be even better than the app I have. Like, I learned about Community, which I knew absolutely nothing about. I was using, like, a different text messaging app that was charging me per receiver every time versus Community app charges you one monthly fee. You can send as many.
I use Community.
You do? I didn't know nothing about. I learned about Community on Clubhouse. I was like, what the fuck? I've been paying like over $3,000 in text messaging, and I could just pay $600 on Community. It was crazy.
That's the one thing I do love is besides the conversation, jokes, relationship stuff, I get to be on platforms with like new people that I've never met before. So it's just like, I've seen in passing, but you never really get to have a conversation. Like the Troy Carters and different things like that. And I think it's like Chris Lyons. And I just think it's so amazing the space that it's in where given with how we have to live now, we can't really network. I just love the fact that it's a new networking tool if you utilize it correctly. When I first started, I'd be on there all day.
When did you get on there?
A couple months ago. You know what? Marcus Troy, who I always speak highly of, he hit me one day and he was like, hey, are you familiar with Clubhouse? And I was like, Marcus, I don't want to join another app. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, I'm barely keeping up now. And because the thing is, it's so many different places I have to respond to people. And at times I have ADD. And I'm like, I can't respond to everyone. And I don't want everyone to take it personal. Because people do like, hey, you didn't get back to me. I'm like, okay, you sent me a DM on Instagram. But I can get a DM on Twitter. I can get a DM on Facebook. Like, there's so many avenues.
But I can't say that you're really good at, like, using all your apps.
And that's the thing. It's just like it's like when I first started out 3, then it's 4, then it's 5. So then when he told me, I was like, bruh, I can't add another one.
No more apps.
Yeah. But then Coco and Breezy was like, Coco reached out, was like, girl, you gotta use this. And I'm like, you know what? Let me do it. I was like, let me just join it. This is the second person. And I was just like, that told me about it. And I got on and it was just like, it started off a little bit slow. But then when I started to get into the conversations of just being transparent, they added me to their, like if you follow somebody in the drop down, you know how they have the drop down box, and it shows you other people to follow. So I'm like one of the 15 people to follow.
God damn.
So that just works.
Tell them to put add me. No, I got to the Clubhouse party late. I mean, I got there before, a lot of other people.
You got there before the boom.
I got there before the boom. Like I'm actually in like, if I go on like 90% of the people that I follow, they started like the same week that I started. But like I had went to work and one of the girls on my team was like, yo, you not on Clubhouse? I'm like, what the fuck is Clubhouse? They was like, oh, it's this new app. It's kind of like podcasting, but you can get in these rooms. It's like a podcast on a 3-way. And I'm like, what? Is it like, what was that one app that was kind of like that? Periscope.
Yeah.
They was like, it's like Periscope, but it's only voice. And I'm like, what the fuck? So she was like, look. So then she's showing me the app. I'm like, I have to get on this app. So I'm like,
I remember you asked me, and at that time, I didn't have no invites.
I'm like, I got to get on this app. So I called Karen. I'm like, how the fuck do I get on this app? You was like, hold on, I'm going to get you an invite. Give me a second. So
the next day, you had one. It just said, Ming's following you.
Within seconds, I ended up...
Lala gave you one.
Yeah, I ended up just signing up, and I guess she seen that I signed up, and she gave me one. So shout out to Lala, love you so much. And it took a while to kind of like get used to it and being up on stages and stuff like that, because
I was nervous the first 2 weeks. Me too. I was just like, I'm sorry, I'm not, because I had to get reacclimated with talking in front of an audience, because I'm so like.
But see, you're way more politically correct than I am.
But even still, like, I was so nervous, and I'm like antisocial already, so it just was like when they'd ask me certain questions, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just like kind of getting used to this. But then I realized, like, I put my headset on, I don't look at the people, I just literally walk around my place, whatever I'm doing, watching TV, just catching up and having conversation, and that's pretty much, now I'm fully acclimated. I walk in a room and be like, what y'all talking about? Oh, okay, that's cap, you're lying. I'm so comfortable now. Like, I'm so in a point, I'm so comfortable. But the bad thing with Clubhouse, it can take up a lot of your time.
Oh my God. Maybe 2 nights ago, I stayed up till 4 a.m. and I fell asleep on the phone.
That's what happened in the Meek room.
I forgot to put my phone on the charger, so I woke up to a dead phone.
Listen, I was in his room for like 6 hours. I fell asleep and I heard him going, Karen, you got anything to add? Karen, you got any? I said, you are not about to wipe the drool off your goddamn mouth to answer this. And I just went back to sleep. And I'm like, girl, now I have a timer for myself. I say I can't do more than 90 minutes on Clubhouse, just so I can get the information I need, connect with people, but I go back into my everyday life. Because I don't want it to be so consuming.
So I can't do it like I used to do it like right when I first woke up, because I like to like listen to some of like the morning shows. Like sometimes I catch Joe. He's like on a morning show. Like I like to.
He won't answer his phone. But you can go catch him in that Clubhouse.
You can for sure catch his ass in Clubhouse. Sometimes I go in his Clubhouse. I mean, sometimes I go in his room. And sometimes I go in Atlanta morning show Clubhouse. But I do it like instead of like listening to music, sometimes I just like to listen to people and all the bullshit that they have to offer. And so like sometimes I go into their rooms. But during the day, I can't quite go into it because one, that's when it gets too time consuming. And a lot of times, especially when I want to listen to like the business rooms, they always want me to come up and like speak. And I hate really speaking because I'm not a politically correct person. I don't have like a blueprint to the business. I kind of like did I'm an entrepreneur, yes, but it was like more hustle than strategy. Like you figured the shit out. Yeah, I figured it out. It didn't work. I went back to the drawing board and figured it out kind of. But I have made a lot of connections. Like next week, I met this guy named John Lee who has like, he took his company public. He does all this social media strategy, and like he jumped in my DMs. We've been talking. He was like, hey, if you ever want me to help you with some strategies, I'll do it. And I was like, really? He was like, yeah, but he's in the UK.
Yeah.
So he's like, what about 9 a.m.? It's fucking 4 o'clock in the morning my time. And I was like, well, I'm like, 9 a.m. your time? He's like, yeah, I can get you in this day. You know what I mean? If you can do it 9 a.m., this is my only time. I'm like, I'll fucking take it. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm going to have to set 25,000 alarms to make sure I'm up.
30 minutes before,
but
25 minutes before.
There's no fucking way I'm missing a Zoom call with John Lee about a better strategy for my e-commerce businesses.
Absolutely.
For free. Like, he's not even charging me. He's going to do it for free. What? I was telling somebody, like, my was like, I was on Clubhouse. I was like, girl, it's free. I don't even see why you not on Clubhouse.
Yeah. I honestly, I love it. The connections that I've made. I got 2 opportunities to be on these boards for other company from people I met off of Clubhouse.
Okay, what boards are you? What was her name? She told me that you're on her board just recently. Starts with the A, Alyssa.
Yeah, Miss Jacobs. Yeah, for Queen's Gaming, which is really exciting.
Okay.
She's like a Clubhouse aficionado too. She does really well with that. So I'm with Queen's Gaming, which I'm really excited about.
What is that? Give us
It's
a little
basically, what she had to break down to me is 52% of the gaming industry is women. Mm-hmm. And
is it?
Yes. And they are not even...
So women game more than men?
Yes. And people don't look at women or think about us. And it's women of color. So she started this whole movement where it's about women gamers, women of color, and making sure they have a voice and they're amplified. And I get to be a part of that and being on the advisory board, which I'm really excited about. And I'm doing it with 2 other companies as well. And it's great because, again, with the pivot, with everything going on, I'm just more now in a space of I want to be on advisory boards. I want to have those conversations. I want to be a part of something. I want my shares.
I want my equity.
Yes,
I just got equity inside of a really big beauty tech company. Shout out to Style Seat.
That's what I'm talking about.
They let a black girl in the door there. Which I was like very impressed and very like proud of myself that not only, am I looked at as a valuable asset, I'm being compensated as well.
For it.
Yeah, so I was just like, shout out to Melody, founder of Style Seat. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
And to me, that's the goal. Like, it's to have great conversation. But it's to leverage your business in a certain way. And that's what I like to do. So that's why I put myself on a time limit of 90 minutes. So sometimes I may do I break it down into increments. Like I may do 15, 20 minutes in the morning. I'll go to, I'm always in the Measy Estates room.
Well, when do you go to sleep? Because I could literally call you and I'm on the East Coast, so we have a 3-hour difference. I can literally call her at 3 o'clock in the morning. I can text her at 11 p.m., 9 a.m., 12 noon, and I get a text back within seconds. I'm like, one time I'm like, when do you go to sleep?
I sleep in spurts. I'll do 2-3 hours, wake up, do my thing, 2-3 hours, and go from there. But yeah, I do spurts.
I need 6 hours at least.
No,
minimum.
But I get 8 hours of sleep a day, but I do it in spurts.
You break it up.
Yeah. You're like, nah, I want it straight through. I want it straight through cash.
I would prefer. I would prefer it would be straight through. So what is your favorite, you think, out of all of your social media platforms, like you told us you had 6, what do you think is which one have you made the most money on?
Instagram. Even though, they are changing and so many different things are happening, my shop is doing so much better because, as you can see, they're really pushing it for small businesses and things with a lot of the brick and mortar stores closing. Mm-hmm. So they've made that the they've made that the front and purpose of like what Instagram now, instead of just taking pictures, pushing ads and certain things. But honestly, it's always Instagram. I go in the DMs, and I know people think like it goes down in DMs. Yes, my business goes there because it's always people from companies who reach out, who always want to find
Who was
work.
the craziest person that ever touched your DMs as far as like business wise, where you was like, holy shit, like, you know how you be like, you know how you click out, click back in, click out, like, this can't be real.
I'd say from the DMs, like so I know where people are coming from. I have a different contact on each platform. Mm-hmm. So I would say from Instagram, being able to, Michelle Obama, when we went to her book tour. And right there.
I personally love Michelle Obama.
That right there came from, they sent me an email to my Always Civil, and that was from Instagram.
I went to this lunch, and she had like this closed lunch, and we had to like give our phones. Mm-hmm. And it was like maybe 10 of us. And when I tell you, she's a girl from the south side of Chicago. For real. Like, I have so much respect and I admire her so much. Like, I fucking love her.
Like, it's always been them, and the invites to the White House, that all came off of, they had me speak there, and that all came off of Instagram, which I'm so excited about. Even when you saw the recap, she put us in her recap. She had us front stage.
Yeah,
like, I absolutely...
Even though it was literally 2 degrees outside, and I almost froze to death.
I mean, that was her last book tour. I think that was 2019. Mm-hmm. That was the last date, and we were like, she had VIP and VVIP. So we were like the first 20 people to see her.
And then I wore heels, which I should have wore flats. I was like trying to impress her.
Yeah, and she was like, hey girl, just real regular. And you was about to go off on that staff because they put a sticker on your Chanel bag.
My Chanel bag to this day is fucking ruined.
You was like, yeah. So one of y'all's gonna have to work this off and figure it out.
They gave me the runaround, and nobody replaced my $7,000 bag.
You was like, because who told you to put a sticker on this?
Like, who puts a sticker on a leather bag?
Yeah, and they were just so confused because you was
like,
you know
what? And I was just like, you know what? I'm not even finna go get on them but they had.
I would have went
like
times 100.
Who does that? I was a little bit upset.
Yeah, not even a little bit. You was just, they didn't even have an answer.
It was no logic. I just said, make it make sense.
And they didn't have anything to say.
Nothing. But I got my picture, so I was happy.
But what's funny is, when I'm ready to turn up, you be like, Karen. And when you be ready to go, I be like, you just let her go. Because you know why? Because I be like, bitch, you be going. So when Ming finally go, you just gotta, I don't even reel it in.
Because it takes so much for me to get so mad. It's like, if you get me to the point to where I'm pissed off, I've literally let at least 100 things slide. So it's just like, if I catch a bad attitude with you, you fucking deserve it. Because I've literally let you fucking get away with murder. At this point, I'm the judge who sentenced O.J. Simpson. Like, she had enough. Like, he literally got away with murder. Mm-hmm. And then the second
now
judge...
you're moving like this? All right, I'm done.
All right.
I forgot where we were going, but the airline attendant pissed you off so bad when we were like at their little kiosk desk.
I might have been going to...
I think it was, could have been Delta. I forget where we were. She pissed you off so bad, and she looked over at me. I'm like, you better be happy it's her and not me. I'm like, I just looked down at my phone and was like, you just gonna have to take it at this point, or like, you better figure it out, because...
You know what I can't believe? Mm-hmm. I can't believe after all these years that Twitter is still...
reigning supreme?
Yeah. Like, I actually had left Twitter. Like, I honestly... Like, I didn't, like, close down my account, but it had been years since I actually actively got on Twitter. Yeah. And I just recently rejoined it.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Twitter's never going anywhere. Just like Twitter and Facebook are the staples. They started it. They've been here for a very long time. We're acclimated with it. There's so many other apps and things, social media things that have come and gone. But the great thing about them is why it's just like it's there is because they created something that a lot of other people don't have. You get to, people take things they see off of Twitter and they bring it to other platforms. So you tweet something, people take a screenshot, they put it to Instagram, they put it to Facebook, or they'll bring it to Snapchat, they'll bring it to just all these other places. Twitter lives in all these other communities. So they have like this thing. Shout out to Jack. Like, yeah. I absolutely love him. And it's like they have this reign that they're not going anywhere. And what I would like to see with social media platforms is for them to go back to finding their voice instead of just copying each other. Because now everybody's just copying each other. Like, oh, you're doing rooms here, I'm gonna bring rooms here. You're going live, I'm gonna go live here. I don't want to go live on...
Like Twitter just got Fleet.
Yeah, but they have like something stores. Else where they have like rooms too. And I'm like, man, I just want to tweet. I'm using it for the basic thing.
They figure like if you're spending, like some people are on Clubhouse for 10 hours or like, I heard you on a conversation with somebody was saying like they had a 24-hour room. Like, you know what I mean? That shit is taken away from their business.
I saw somebody last night, I was having this conversation. I'll go to see rooms. I won't join, just like look in the hallway to see what's happening. It's this particular person who is like a multi-millionaire. He was in the room, and I know he's on the East Coast. It was like 12:30. I woke up this morning, and I looked at the rooms just to see like where conversations are. Again, like I don't normally join, just to see what people are doing. He was there. I looked at lunch and he was there, and I literally wanted to text him like, bro, when do you get off of this shit? Because every time I look, you're in the same room. So it's making me feel like I don't know how people are able to balance. But then I'm like, okay, you know what? He may be retired and he is a multimillionaire. So it's like, what else I got to do? I'm making money in my sleep. I don't know. I'm trying not to judge people in that manner, but I'm like, Jesus, you're on here a lot.
How do you think people are going to figure out how to monetize off of Clubhouse?
I don't think we should look at everything as a monetization thing.
As a business owner, though, like if you're giving away all that free information and spending all that time.
I think it gets to connection. From my standpoint, I look at it like I'm excited to see what, artists can't tour and do their normal thing. Like, for instance, Division, they had this Division room a couple weeks ago, right? And they were just talking about their recent project. And Daniel went in there and like kind of just surprised the fans and talked about it with them. Those are the moments I'm excited about, to see how artists are going to be able to have conversations, do promo and stuff like that. Like,
but if they're doing promo, they're selling something that's still monetized.
Yeah, okay, that's a great way of saying it. And say shout out to Mir Harris. She was part of this group of people who brought like The Lion King. Did you see that room? Mm-mm. Girl. So
I've been taking like days breaks from Clubhouse because I'll get sucked in and go down a real dark tunnel.
This room was I can't even fully explain it, and I'm probably going to explain it wrong. This shit was incredible. So think The Lion King, right? Mm-hmm. They basically did a live version of The Lion King. So every character was on stage. Like the curtains went down, the voices, everything. It felt like
Where did they get the voices from?
They were like, they had like actors and voice actors and things like. Some of them were. Other people were just like similar to them. Yeah, but you put your phone down. I'm not even gonna front. Put it down. I was smoking and just like looking up, and it literally was like a live action version of The Lion King. The shit was so perfect, and it was like seamlessly done that I've never seen. Afterwards, I'm like, girl, I can't, how the hell you do this? Their names were changed. So they worked with Clubhouse to do this, whereas like, instead of her name saying like Mir Harris.
Clubhouse?
It's quite a few people. It's like quite a few people. I think it's like right now it's like 8 or 9 employees.
Yeah, I heard it's 8 or 9 employees, but who started it?
I think Rohan, if I'm not mistaken. But it's to a place where it's small right now, but they have another version coming out for us, which I'm excited to see in that same space, how it's going to be different.
Who's behind that?
It's called The Cookout. And I'm excited to see how that does, because a big thing with people on Clubhouse is like the African American community don't feel seen at times, and they feel like at the hallway and certain things like they feel like, okay, I don't know. I want to make sure I'm saying this correctly. They feel like just the way it's set up, they're like, okay, they push these certain rooms to us and not these and XYZ, or it's limited or something like that. And now with this being in the FUBU motif, which is for us, by us, because it's Black creators, and the Cookout is more of like a Black version, but I don't even want to call it a Black version, but a way of communicating, but for Black people. I want to see like how they both can live in those spaces, and just, it's always great to have options.
So now we got to add another app.
Yeah.
Speaking of apps, how do you feel about, because we were kind of like talking briefly about, I guess, do you think that you should have a difference between like personal and business brands, right? So it's just like, kind of like this podcast is like behind the scenes, because we are so like professional and have to be so like mindful of what's said and what captions and like what we do and what we see. Like, how do you feel about that, like moving forward? Like, do you feel as if like you should keep everything separate, or is it just like, this is me?
The great thing about us is we are our brand. And that's what separates us. Is like, now I'm in a place, before I had like all these things I had to juggle, and at the end of 2020 I cut a lot of ties with things and businesses and certain things, so I can go back to focusing on Karen, my Civil Essentials line, this podcast, like Queen's Business, Queen's Gaming, like the K-Swiss stuff we're doing. So it's more falls in line with who I am as an individual. And that's what I had to realize, is like really understanding my core values and what matters to me. So what you see me post is what you see is what you get. Where the difference is, say somebody who is a hairstylist, for instance, right? Say you own a hair salon and like your beauty business and everything. Somebody who's a hairstylist, it's a little bit different, because I want to see your work. No offense. I don't want to see your avocado toast. I don't want to see like a selfie and things like that. It's separating. Crazy,
because I'm a little bit different, because I don't want to just see hair. Like,
but this is the thing.
Mix it up.
You have a page dedicated to that.
Right, I do.
So this right here, this is why it's not the same for you, because you are your brand.
Well, I was just talking about from other people, like other hairstylists. I like to, like, if they have, like, say if I follow a hairstylist that I really, really like their work, I follow them, and I pray, like, they have, like, a personal page, because, like, I'm just all about, like, the emotional connection or getting to know somebody, and it's so hard to get to know somebody through hairstyles, but I do like looking at new hairstyles, because I want to try new hairstyles, but it's just, like, it's like a fine line, because also for me in 2021, like, I want to work on my personal brand, right?
Yeah.
As far as like the mean brand, like letting people know who I am as a person, because I always tell people, like, one of my biggest goals this year is to grow my influence, right? And I tell people, like, once you grow your influence, you can sell people anything. Like, anything that you love, you know what I mean? If you have the influence, they'll buy it.
Paid to be yourself.
Yeah, so it's just like, I want to introduce people and get people to know more about me, my authentic self, how crazy I am, how funny I am, like, you know what I mean? Like, how I think, and just like, so that's kind of like, I was just asking, because I just asked everybody, like, how do you feel about being so transparent?
I think for me, now I'm in a place of transparency. I want to show that more, because I don't want to seem perfect. my life is not perfect. I want people to see, like, it's a roller coaster and I'm enjoying the ride. So when I say a roller coaster, it has ups and downs. So unfortunately, it's like when they see Instagram, they see this perfect picture. You know, I put a lot of work into getting
one picture.
Yeah, I will take 1,000 and I'm gonna post one. I hate a carousel and everything else. I like the one photo. But to go into that takes a lot. That's why even with this podcast is like you get to hear my thoughts. You get to hear my ideologies, what I'm thinking, just a conversation and everything else. And we're just very transparent, where I'm excited about this, where I was even a little nervous about this because I'm like, okay, I was like overthinking, like, what if I say something like this? What if I say this? People, because like I read comments. And I'm not gonna pretend I don't.
And so,
like, I search my name. Like before, I don't do it anymore. But it's like I used to search my name, see what people say, and it would bother me because I'm not gonna pretend like I was just always this strong person. I had to build myself into this, space where I didn't let other people's notions and ideas of who I should be, how I should look, affect me. And now I just want to be present in my skin, if that makes sense.
It does.
I want to show up as my authentic self, whether, I'm coming from a place of love where I'm not trying to misappropriate myself. I'm not trying to speak for anyone else, and as long as our audience has a little bit of grace the same way I do, and we'll be okay. And it's just like, again, it's a roller coaster of just enjoying the ride.
And it's so crazy because when people like put up crazy shit about me, like my friends and stuff be way more madder than me. Like,
I be upset.
You be so pissed. Like, you might call me like, "Are you okay?" Like, I'm like,
do you want me to take it down? Do you want them gone?
I'm like,
you be like,
no. These people are. I just think people are fucking nuts. Like, and then it's just like,
you know what I did learn from you, which I live by this quote. I need my business back because you telling it wrong.
Yeah, give me back my business. Cause like even like the one girl who was like talking about like how I started my business and how like,
oh yeah, she talks about me too.
Oh yeah, and how I got all this drug money and all types of stuff. I'm like, girl, give me back my fucking business because you're telling it wrong. But people was like, I was actually going to comment in the comments like, girl, let me grab my popcorn and read these comments. I was just like, you know what? I ain't even finna fuck with these people. And people were like calling me like, are you okay? I'm like, man, fuck them. Like
but you know
I
what
know
I realized?
where I came from. Like,
you know what I realized?
Tell my story
is I never pretend to be the king or the queen of it. If the people happen to praise you, you accept it, you take it. But they're always going to be, I say, the 2%. 8% of people, 8 people will love you, 2 people will hate you. And I'm now at a place, before I used to focus on those 2 people. And I just be like, why don't you like me? Look at these
them people.
No, but that's how I was. I'd be like, look at these 8 people who love me. And I'm like, first of all, why the fuck do I even care? And that's the place. It's such a powerful place to be in, but it takes time to get there. Because you know what? Social media can be fucking hard. Growing up, you got bullied or somebody said something and you go to fuck home. Like, you didn't hear about it. Now the internet, it's like, it kind of just
it'll just go viral. Like, even like when we went to Queen Naja's birthday party and we ran into one of the owner of the vlogs, and I was just like, why the fuck?
Oh, spiritual word. Yeah. Shout out to them. Like, they're one of my favorite sites.
Yeah, I love him. And I was like, why the fuck you keep reposting this girl? He was like, what? I was like, yeah, you didn't think that was going to, because like we had just met. This is our first introduction. And that was the first thing out of my mind. It's like, why the fuck do you keep, but I was just fucking with him, right?
Yeah.
And so then he was like, what? Everybody was defending you. And I was just like, no, I'm just joking. I'm just fucking with you. I'm like, because my store did 80% more because people were just trying to figure out who Ming was. So I was just like, anytime you want to repost that, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let me know so I can make sure I start running my promo, because I used to have a Dropbox full of promo ready to when shit started going viral or anything negative. Like, I always believed in taking a negative and turning it into positive, especially because I know who I am.
Yeah.
I know what I've done, and I know so many people have walked this 10-year journey with me.
Yeah.
So we're like, you can't tell me how the fuck I started. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know how I started.
People pick and choose the story.
Right. And it was actually people there along the journey of how I started.
Yep.
I have videos. If you just go on my YouTube channel, I'll tell the story of how I fucking started.
Yes. From
but
the other
some people
salon.
just choose to believe.
You know what? I've come to a point, but we've talked about this from the first time we met, where it's just like people look at your success as their failure.
And that's so fucked up.
And it's just like they'll rather believe a negative than a positive, because in their mind, they already have this notion of they can't make it. So they want to feel like you cheated your way into making it.
Or like you can't really be, like I read a comment the other day where it's just like, I bought a new car. She was like, oh girl, I thought you had to trade in your other one to get another one. And I was just like, let's normalize black girl luxury.
Because that Lambo is still sitting in the driveway. We got them both.
Like there was no trade-in needed, but it's like it seemed like it's unattainable or unreachable for like black women to be successful,
or just
like
black people.
It gotta be somebody behind her. There's nobody behind. I tweeted like not too long ago, like in a relationship, I went G-Wagon and Range Rover. Out being single, I went Lamborghini and Maybach. And it was just like, it's with or without. Because I work hard. And people don't realize, like, you know, like I really do work hard. I really go to work and it's blood, sweat, and tears. And there is no driving force behind me. I am the force. I'm the table. I'm the chairs. I'm the fucking silverware, the napkins, the cup, the juice, the fucking entree, the
pulled up a seat to my own table.
The dessert.
Matter of fact, I built my fucking table.
Bingo.
So I'm going to enjoy this meal.
And let's normalize it. Like, that's why I be telling people, like, it's okay. Like, it's okay
But that has to come from a place of people have to be comfortable with other people's success. But they're never going to be, certain people aren't going to be comfortable with other people's success till they have it, till they attain it. Then it's just
so
like,
easy to get. Like, if you take all that energy that you're using to tear down somebody or to pick apart somebody else's shit and you put it towards yourself, trust me, it's going to come.
Yeah.
It's going to come. And you can succeed. Like I was just telling somebody the other day, I'm like, I'm not beefing with other hair company owners. Like, I'm not, I don't like, what they make a year does not affect me. Like,
there's so many. Like,
I got my own market. I got my own customers. I got my own products. Like, I'm cool with them. Like, very cool with them. Like, it ain't no, like, I don't care.
I think for me, it was at a point where it's a little bit of the opposite, where I've had to come to the realization people aren't happy for my success. So coming to Los Angeles, it wasn't a quote unquote takeover or anything like that. For me, it was like, I want to make sure that I can make it. We talked about this at the last podcast, where it's like the first year was always the hardest. So now making it and doing certain things and you know, people reaching out, other people who may kind of be in the same fields were not happy. As much as I would extend an olive branch of business to them, doing certain things, regardless, my success was something that they didn't want to see from me. And rather than question it like, damn, I'm really trying to be nice to you, now I'm at a point like, fuck it. I've extended an olive branch. I've tried, but you know what? I'm not going to people please people who are not pleased with me.
Yeah,
I'm going to put that energy. I'm going to put that energy to fucking with people that ate. Those 8 people. So now I'm at a point, like the last 2 years, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to fix nothing. I'm not fixing nothing. I ain't break. I'm at a place where, you know how they say that quote, may the bridges you burn light your way? I'm fucking cool. I'ma swim this shit the fuck out.
Yeah, because mine is kind of like, I'ma burn the bridges because I know how to fucking swim. Fuck you.
Exactly. Like, I swim with sharks before I ever double back on somebody who disrespects me, especially when I pulled up a seat for you at the table and you tried to take the food off my plate. Good fucking luck. Good luck. That's the point.
How did you deal with something like that?
It gets to a point, like, you know me. I have good days and bad days, to a point I get so upset because, you know what? I'm really a nice person. And it sucks because I had to remember to take the emotion out of it and not be like, okay, why is this happening to me? And like, you know, I want to say a lot of it is very like, I grew up very fairy tale, where you thought, okay, and I want to say it's a good thing and a bad thing, where people be like, as long as you're a nice person, people will be nice to you. That's not fucking true. That's not the way the world operates. You can be a nice person, you can be whatever, shit is still gonna happen, and it's how you deal with it, how you continue to show up. But I lived in this notion, as long as you do good, you put out good, it's only gonna be positivity and you know, namaste and be all great. Unfortunately, that's not true. And when I came to that realization a couple of years ago, I'm like, Karen, stop. Stop this woe is me, feeling bad, thinking like everyone's attacking you. It's life, and taking my emotion out of it, where I use this analogy a lot. In this world, there are 4 types of fucking people. And these 4 people, I connect to animals. There are snakes. And snakes are there's a type of person who's a snake. They're there to put that poison, that venom, whatever in you. That's that person who is just instilling negativity, who tries to just poison your mindset, your life. There are chickens. And with the chicken, they don't fly. They stay low to the ground. They take the crumbs. That's the mediocre person who wants to hang around, not really add value to your life. They are the crabs. And you know what that is. We all heard the crabs in the barrel, who they just want to bring you down and pull you down. And then there are fucking eagles. Eagles soar.
What about goats?
No.
Because I am not a lamb.
Listen, like, eagles soar, and they continue to soar. And that's the place that I'm in. So that's what I have to remember. I'm like, so when a person does something, I'm like, you know what? You're a snake. You came to do what you were supposed to do. You're a crab. You came to do what you were supposed to do. You know what? Add the goat. That's greatness. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, now we got 5 animals.
But you know what I had to realize about people is that some people, this is like one of the hardest lessons that I had to learn about people, that, you know, some people have an expiration date. And some people were really, honestly, truly put into your life to teach you lessons, whatever it may be. And my problem has always been of letting go of people, even though like their expiration date has come. And so like that was like one of my things, like, you know, like it's okay to let go of people, and it's okay that some people come in your life to teach you this, so you can learn this, so you can grow from this experience. And then it's, you know what I mean?
I know he catches a lot of flack, but I love a good Tyler Perry play. And in one of his plays, he talked about seasons. And he said there are people who are supposed to come into your life for a season. They come in for a short period of time. They teach you something. May it be good or bad, whatever it is, it helps you become the next person. And once I heard that, I said, Karen, realize what it is. Stop trying to hold on to things, people, situations longer than you need to. It's hard, but it's a constant reminder.
Yeah, because you give people 1,000 chances.
Yeah, ain't no more. Ain't no fucking more.
You got one time with me.
Nah, ain't no more. And it's so great because now it's like my accessory is a pair of scissors. And people like, what that mean? Because I will cut you the fuck off. I will cut you off quicker than a fucking bill collector. Quicker. Lights off. Disconnected. Quicker than AT&T. Like Verizon. Whoever you want to.
I put that meme on Instagram. Like, I would cut you off. And then it put sign T-Mobile. Remember when T-Mobile cut everybody off? Like, don't fucking play with me, okay?
You will be call me AT&T. I will cut you off like nothing. So now I'm at that place because, you know, I be like, you know, everyone deserves second chances.
What about family, though?
I ain't even talking to my brother right now. My daddy, it's not a hate thing. I realize with family, I need space. I need space for my own mental.
That's like the hardest.
It is, but you know what? I can't put them first before me and my mental well-being. Because as much as I love them and everything else, they weren't good for me. Granted, we are family. I didn't get to pick you. God gave me you. And that's and thank you, Lord, for everything, for the lessons and the blessings and everything else. But I have to put me first. So I just say I'm taking a pause from certain family members.
Me too.
I love y'all. Like, I love my brother. I just don't need you in my space right now. I see you. I clap from you. Like, the thing is,
from afar.
Yeah, I don't want to be on your team. I'll be in the stands. I'm cool with my popcorn and my jersey, like, rooting for you. I just don't want to be on your team right now. Me and my
sister, we got into it so bad, right? Because I told her we was not friends. And she like thought like I was being so mean and whatever. And I'm like, it's okay for us not to be friends. We're sisters. But you're not the person that I want to go to the club with. You're not the person that I want to. Friends is somebody that you have something in common with, that you enjoy being around. You like to smoke. I don't. I want to drink alcohol. You don't want to go to the club. I do. Like, we don't like, you are vegan. I like steak, pork ribs, dripping with bacon crumbled on top and drizzled in butter. You wouldn't dare eat it. Like, it's like, we don't like none of the same things. It's like, yes, I want to spend time with you as my sister, but no, you're not the person I want to go on vacation with. You're too picky. Like, you're not my friend, and it's okay. And she just, for the life of her, couldn't understand it. I'm like, God made us something even better. He made us blood. He made us sisters, but we don't like the same things. It's actually an inconvenience to hang out with you because I have to do everything that I don't want to do.
But okay, maybe she's not to pick her, like,
you always pick her side
because she's so nice.
So let's
wait. I'm gonna just say this because we're opposites, but we find a way to connect. Do you feel like there's no medium with you two?
It has to be her way.
Oh, okay, no.
So like I have to compromise. If we go on a trip, I have to compromise the whole entire trip. At least with you, it's like, okay, man.
We compromise.
Yeah.
It's 50-50.
It's 50-50.
Yeah.
I don't mind the 50-50 split.
Yeah.
But to have to compromise my whole
100,
trip.
yeah.
And then or even necessarily, even if we don't compromise, if we go to a place that got vegan and pork ribs, you mad because I ordered pork ribs? I'm fucking eating what the fuck I want to eat, and that's that on that. Like, you not better dictate what the fuck I eat. Like, you dictate what you
on
eat.
Your plate.
You know what I mean? I dated somebody. You know what I mean? I was in a 5-year relationship with somebody who didn't eat beef or pork. That don't mean I'm not gonna eat beef or pork because I like beef or pork. Like, you can't dictate what I got going on. Like, if I ever decide to stop eating beef or pork, it's because I decided to stop eating beef or pork.
But that's where people get confused because even we were really close at this time when I did the vegan stuff for like 2.5 years. I ain't care what you eat.
Like, you can't talk me into doing something. Like, Karen wanted to go to Harvard. Yeah. You call me like, yo, you need to. I'm not paying to go. I'm not paying to go back to school.
I ask, you say no, I move on.
I'm like, the fuck, you want me to give these people some money to go back to school? I hate school. You mean to tell me that you
have an MBA of Google University. You tell me all the time.
Everything I need to know is on Google and YouTube. And if it's not, hopefully one of my peers know the answer.
I spin around. I'll be back.
Yeah, I mean, you enjoy. I hate it. They would have to pay me.
Yeah, I get it, but that's the hard thing with like family because it is different from friends and other people. But I'm at a point it does get a little bit sad.
So like family, the only thing difference between friends and family is that friends. Like you, I'm not giving you really no second chance. Like once you show me who you are, then I accept who you are and I believe it and see you later, right? Versus family, I give you like chance after chance. Like I was friends with this girl for like 11 years and she did some of the craziest shit to me and I've never spoken to her again.
And you know what's crazy? That's hard.
That's
because
hard.
Because I know the type of person you are and it's just like, with our listeners, I want to say like, when I say somebody comes to you and they share their personal and their business, when I say you're 100% supportive, if I told you like, yo, Ming, I'm about to quit it all and be a surfer, you'd fucking go buy me the surfboard. Like that's the type of person you are where you don't have a jealous bone in your body. And that's one thing that I love is like you're very supportive.
I was just having a conversation with somebody. They was talking about like two different people. I'm like, yo, I don't even want to continue this conversation because I don't give a fuck. Like they both are doing good. I bought both of their stuff. Shit. After that, I don't know what to tell you because after that,
that's the hard part emotionally. I always want to figure out from your end, like how do you, like 11 years is a long time, man, and you just be like, I'm good.
Yeah, because I think about like, if this is the one thing I found out about, what is all the other shit I didn't find out about?
I didn't think about it.
And it was just like you know, like, I just think like people are who they are. So once you find out who somebody is,
girl.
Yeah, but once you figure out who somebody is, that's them. So either you accept them for who they are, or you don't be mad. It's like me being mad for a clown coming
and being a clown.
Being a clown. Like, you're a fucking clown.
I knew like, you had that red nose.
So when you come to my house with the wig and the nose and the shoes and the tricycle, I can't be fucking mad that you blowing up balloons in my living room because you're a fucking clown. So it's just like so that's the thing about forgiveness, right?
Yeah.
Either you forgive the person and move on, or you accept who they are, so when they do it again, you just know that that's who they are.
This is my thing. I'm still dealing with forgiveness. I'm at a place of acceptance. I accept them for who they are, and I accept you for who you are. I don't forgive your behavior. I've accepted it and I've moved on, where I don't want you in my life. And that's it, where it's like, it's not, you know, I do the forgiveness letters, like if it's a full moon, half a moon or something, I write them to the person of like how I feel, how they made me feel. I write it out and then like I'll burn it just to get the emotions out. Mm-hmm. But every action is not an acceptance thing, because I'm at a forgiveness thing, because I don't forgive the bullshit or the way you've made me feel, or the way, it's certain things I'm never going to forgive. But I've accepted it and I try to move on. But forgiveness is not for everyone to me. It's not for everyone. Everyone doesn't deserve it.
Well, no. I do. I think you should. I forgive people for my own sake, not.
I get that.
I forgive them because me forgiving you or not, I'm going to move forward.
Yeah.
If you fuck me over you got one time. And this is the last thing I'm going to say. You have one time to fuck me over, and I guarantee you the opportunity will never present itself.
You one and done.
That's me dropping the mic.
I mean, we're done. See y'all next week.